Welcome back to video games. This time, we're going to review Metroid Prime 4, Beyond. I always forget that it's called Beyond, by the way.
Beyond what?
I don't know.
I've been thinking about it. What does beyond mean?
I think it's beyond the place where they were before. They travel with a teleporter thing, so they are beyond that place.
Time and space.
Wherever that is. It's not time.
I guess it's... No.
It's beyond
I mean,
space. It's not even beyond space. It is in space.
It's like when they materialize in some elsewhere in Doctor Who. It's like, oh, where are we? It's in the land of fiction.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe it's with the psychic stuff.
With the psychic stuff?
Yeah, it's like beyond.
Oh, you mean like she's like, oh, she can see, her third eye is open, don't you see? Ooh. Yeah, maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
Who cares?
Who cares? This is our casual Metroid Prime 4 review. Don't take it too seriously.
No.
Don't be mad. Because if you're mad, you
lose.
Yeah, you lose. That's the only way we live here.
We basically made a rule. We're not really going to talk about Red because
We're not gonna
that's
talk
how
about
we
Red.
lose.
That's how we lose.
Let's just go into it then. I mean, Metroid Prime.
What a franchise. What a sub-franchise. What a sub-series of video games, aren't they?
So really, what's so interesting to me, I did a little bit of introspection on this. Metroid Prime on the GameCube was the first Metroid game I played.
Typical.
Yeah, my friend had a GameCube, and one day I go over to his place, and he's like, playing Metroid Prime. And I read about it in game magazines and everything, and he's just like, oh, this is a game you like? And he's like, yeah, I played Super Metroid as a kid. And I was just like...
As a kid?
Huh? Yeah, as a younger kid.
Yeah.
You had a Super Nintendo? It's like, yeah, before I had a PlayStation. It's like, oh. He basically told me that Super Metroid was a really good game. And I didn't have a Super Nintendo or anything at the time, so I just had to take his word for it. He was correct.
He was correct.
But I saw Metroid Prime, was like, yeah, it's the cool guy from Super Smash Bros. I knew about that Samus was a girl, don't worry about that. No, so I saw Metroid Prime, was like, this is very cool. It's like a Zelda, but without dungeons. So I bought the game too. And I was like, Metroid Prime... it's the best game ever made because the game magazines gave it a 10 and said it was the best game ever made, so it has to be true. Me then being big Metroid fan, I go and play the other Metroid games. I discover emulators and stuff. I can play Super Metroid. And then they released Metroid Prime 2. And at that point I'm looking at it going like...
Maybe not. I think a lot of people did, because you can see it from the dropping sales.
Yeah. I did get Metroid Prime 2. And play through it.
You did play through it?
Once.
Okay. Once.
I played Metroid Prime 1 a lot of times. And then Metroid Prime 3 came out and I was like, I'll get that later.
You never did.
It's been 18 years and I mean, we
you
have
started
it. We do have it.
Yeah.
We did get it.
We even have a Wii connected to our CRT.
Yeah. I started playing it once and fell asleep.
So this is your first experience. My first experience is Metroid Fusion. Around the same time, of course. Around that time, too, we rent Metroid Prime for a weekend.
Back when you could do that.
Yeah. And of course, that was a big experience because it is a very cool experience if you like play the first level of it,
The space station.
Yeah, the space station. And that's made an impression on me already then. I bought it later and I played it, of course. And then I've actually played all of them. Even Metroid Prime Federation Force, which I think makes me the only real Metroid fan.
Did you play Metroid Prime Pinball?
Yes.
Did you play Metroid Prime
Hunters?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
think I've played all of them. So I'm the only real Metroid fan because this is like the metric.
I haven't even played all of those.
No, this is the metric we have to use. I like the meme, big Metroid fan, excited to play it for the first time. I love that one. Sometimes it feels like it. I am, however, even if I really liked them at the time, going back to them, I played them when we were making the
games.
last Metroid video. The Prime games, yeah. I replayed Metroid Prime 1 and 2. I realized that there are a lot of things I don't like about those games. So I'm not the biggest fan. Like, they're fine. they're perfectly good games. The first one is probably the strongest still.
Yeah.
And 2, I actually liked more than I did last time I played it.
I feel 2 is very, like, you can see that they took criticism for the first game and kind of streamlined it a little bit. And
Moved
made it
in a different direction.
like, oh no, it's not as much magma caverns now.
I don't know exactly if I am 100% aboard with their solution, you know, having a hub world. Like, it's a fine idea.
Yeah, but it's very gamey.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fine idea because it's very quick and easy to traverse that world,
It's
I
a bit
think.
of a compromise, I guess.
Yeah. And then Metroid Prime 3, of course, they ditch the segment where you walk between the places and instead you have a world map where you travel.
Yeah, but that's more like
planets.
a menu.
Yeah, it's a menu this time. Then we're here, basically.
Prime 4.
Yeah. Do you remember when they announced it the first time in 2017?
See, I don't fully remember when I first read about that because I didn't watch E3 stuff back then. I was free.
You were free.
I was liberated. But I read about it in like news headlines and game sites. So I guess I saw it and went like, They showed a logo, that was it. And I just went like, okay.
I mean, that's my experience a little bit because of course, that's not the Metroid game I wanted necessarily. I was like, I thought we were done. But okay, like, sure, come back with more. It's fine.
Yeah, I was
Don't
more
worry
into
about it.
retro studios doing something else than Metroid.
I liked Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
I would be perfectly fine if they made another Donkey Kong game instead.
Yeah, this was the time when there were like rumors about them making a Star Fox game, or was that like the year after? Somewhere around the time, it was at least on my mind that I would rather they make
A Star Fox
racing games. I think they never panned out because it was a fake rumor.
I think they should be free to make something new.
Like a Star Fox racing game.
Hearing a lot of their like pitches and stuff that they made afterwards, it's like, damn, dude, like, you really holding them at a leash, aren't you? Like,
Yeah.
I would like them to just take a Nintendo franchise and do something else. And maybe that sets the tone for this review, I think, in general. Because, like,
I think
I'm
we're
not-
not very excited about
No.
this game at all, but we're not upset either.
no, you can imagine it being like us going in with no expectations. And I think our Metroid video that we made, basically what happened after when we played Dread, I think everything then like culminated to us being kind of apathetic to a Metroid Prime game.
I mean, I already was, but yeah.
And then when they showed it, I instantly get the feeling like, they're being a little bit coy, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they had done like the restarting of development and changing studios and everything, and just like
Trouble
years,
development, yeah.
years. And my thought was like, okay, when we see it again, it's gonna be very confident. It's gonna be like, here it is, coming next month. But no,
But that's so strange because I feel like I also expected that it would be like really confident. We show it when it's done, and I guess they did.
they did show the game running. People were talking like, when are we gonna see the next teaser? I'm like, no way.
You're never
they're
gonna get
show
a teaser. You're gonna see it, and yeah, we were talking
We
about that
have
a
talked
lot.
about before.
But like, I don't think it was very confident because it's like, you know, it's being very coy. It shows the opening area of the full game, and it's like, oh, that's really pretty. It's really nice, and then
You think for Fury Green?
yes,
not
Fury
the
Green.
battlefield with the
exactly
space
the
pirates.
Fury Green.
They did show that too.
Whatever, the Fury Green anyway, the jungle. And then it's like, oh, but Nintendo always, of course, when they make a video game and show it for the first time, you know that there's always going to be another direct where they show the gist,
The thing.
the thing. You show it and you create excitement. In this case, it didn't really create excitement. And then they showed the thing later. And it's like probably one of the dumbest things I've ever fucking seen. They're like, Samus has psychic powers now. She can open doors. And they do little fucking Wii thing where it's like, oh, she pulls it. And I'm like, dude, this can't be all of it. And of course, no, it wasn't. But still, people were already at that point like, oh, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. And it's like
Probably gonna
what
turn
the
around.
fuck is this? I was like, I'm not even gonna buy it. And then they show the other thing. Oh, it has an open world and a motorcycle. And I'm like, dude, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Again.
We'll get to the bike.
Oh, we'll get to the bike.
But
But like, and I was like, I'm definitely not buying this one. Holy shit. This looks like fucking trash. And
what's
then,
funny is something else happened,
yes,
to turn
and
around.
Then the previews comes out and everyone's like, dude, I'm really worried about this because there's this fucking nerd and he talks all the time. The fucking Miles Mackenzie, a character that appears in this game. All of the people previewing this were like, oh no, there's a character talking in my Metroid game. Oh, that's really worrying. Dude, is this worrying you? This is the first thing that was worrying you? And then I see him and I'm like, dude, this is fine. Everyone's so fucking hung up on the fucking most
but that was the thing
stuff.
that made you buy the game.
Yes, because now it was like divisive in a fun way. I was like, dude, I might get this now. Because it felt like even when the reviews then came out, everyone was like, there's really high highs and low lows. And they're like talking about some of the things like the ending and stuff. And I'm like, this could be where we have like a contrary opinion, where we're being contrarians in some sense.
Anytime there is like a divisive thing,
it's fun.
Yeah, but like we always feel like we should probably check this out ourselves.
Yeah, because you gotta form your own opinion. Like you can't just base it on that shit. And like everyone's like this is like the worst ending I've ever seen. And I'm like,
say.
Sure.
Yeah, we're getting to the ending at the ending, but
yeah.
I was
but that's how it like shifted during the time. I was like,
this was what made you go like, I have to get the game done. The whole Myles thing, vastly overplayed.
Oh yeah,
because
for sure.
The previews get to an early tutorial section where he's introduced as just a character who's gonna be your little helper from a distance. He's the guy in the chair.
Yeah,
and you basically walk with him through a corridor of rooms. And then he's like sets up a camp, and then he lives there.
Like
and you're not gonna have to have him around much at all. No,
I would say it's a bit overblown, and I guess that can lead us right into
let's just talk
what do
about
we actually
Metroid Prime
what do we actually like about Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah, as a start, I mean, I like Myles. I heard people talk about Myles as he's like a really annoying guy and everything, and I'm just kind of looking at it like, I mean, yeah, this kind of corny writing and everything. But you know what? I'm so tired of Metroid just going through the motions so much.
Never doing anything.
Yeah, just keep running in circles. That seeing this felt like actually refreshing in a way. Even though it's like, it feels like writing from a game from 2008 or something. I'm just going like, you know what? It's like almost a spark of life. I like it. I think it's fine.
It's even funny at times. I think there is an early moment where Samus comes up right behind Myles. She startles him. And I like the way she doesn't react to him right there. Because it's really funny that this stoic-ass character is just standing there super tall and just like staring into this guy. It's a funny, juxtaposition. Yeah. But you can't live on that forever, of course. But like, I like these characters, even if they are really simplistic. They're kind of written like a Marvel movie, like a blockbuster, fun action flick.
I was thinking Rogue One a lot during this game.
Yes. It's very similar to Rogue One in a lot of ways.
The Star Wars midquel or whatever you call it.
Yeah, the Star Wars midquel. I mean, this is basically...
It's a Star Wars game.
Yeah. But like, that's basically what I think about them. Like, a lot of people have said, like, oh, they're not that bad. I wouldn't even say that. I think they're fine. I think they're a perfectly good addition to this game in particular. I think they work.
I think it's probably is the strongest point or something. I would actually want to see a little bit more of in this, because I think that's what makes this unique. On that note, with the characters, my favorite one is Nora Armstrong, the girl one.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily what she does or entails as like a character or personality, but it's how Samus reacts to her. Because in every scene, Nora is also like a big Samus fangirl. She's like, "Oh my god, it's Samus," and she's having like a big.
She's doing more.
Yeah, she's having a moment of this complete awe. But Samus is like suspiciously affectionate towards her in a way she's not to any of their other characters. Continuously, it happens a lot, recurringly throughout the game. She's like, Nora.
I mentioned that the first time she appeared, like on the little comms unit, And Samus, as soon as she hears that it's a woman, it catches her attention. Like, you don't see her face or she doesn't say anything. And you could either...
She perks up.
Yes, she perks up. You could read it either, of course, as Samus being a woman who has a lot of trauma. And, like, there's a lot of connections to, like, motherhood and female affection in general, I think. And then you kind of have this character then that, of course, she would be maybe more protective of someone who reminds her of herself. But I would say that, no, this is definitely because Samus is a raging lesbian.
Yes.
Absolutely.
My thinking too.
She's awkward, of course. She can't really show it, you know.
And what's good about this is that ultimately what this gives the Metroid fandom is someone to ship Samus with. Because everyone was like, Samus is very lesbian. But to whom?
Do you know how much...
There are no other girl characters in the series except for, like, Mother Brain.
Do you know how much the quote-unquote real Metroid fans will fucking hate that?
They're not really, real Metroid fans.
No, they're so po-faced about this that you suggesting for fun that Samus is a lesbian.
No, I'm not doing it for fun. I'm doing it for real.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're having fun with it. There's nothing like stated right out that says it like on her driver's license or anything, right? It doesn't
her
say
Viola license.
Yeah, but it doesn't say on the tin, you know. It's not slapped on there. So you're having a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's queer baiting.
Right. Yes, it's queer baiting. No, but it's you reading into it. But a lot of Metroid fans and gamers in general, like, they fucking hate that shit. If you say that she is trans just for a fucking laugh, they will lose their fucking mind. Why are you pushing your fucking agenda?
And then you upstage them and talk about the Japanese guide for Super Metroid and say,
no, they know that, but they don't fucking give a shit. It doesn't matter.
More stuff we like, though. I like the aesthetics of the game, like just the art direction. I think the graphics, like the fact that they can get this running at least on a Switch 2 in 4K 60 FPS or in, 1080p 120 FPS.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It's nice. Maybe that's why it took so long to make.
And it even runs well on the Switch, apparently. It's 1080p
no, we played the Switch 2 version, so we haven't checked.
It's 1080p 60 on the Switch as well. And like stable too. So they've really put their effort into like making this game run well. And it looks really good. Like if you look at the opening segment of this game, like you might be a bit wowed.
You're talking about
the Fury Green.
Oh no!
Whatever.
Okay, the first real Metroid area after the introduction. Yes. Yeah, Fury Green is real nice, but like aesthetically, as I said, I like a lot of the environments and designs. There's the
art direction is
the Lemurn architecture, of course, is very pussy coded. An incredible amount of just imagery.
You can say vaginal imagery.
Vaginal imagery. There's like a part in the beginning of the game where you go to their tower, the Lemurn Tower, and literally everything is just pussy.
It's just vagina.
It's just vagina balls all over. All the doors are pussies. They're like clits you're pulling with the psychic thing.
You're just calling it
There's
pussies.
one area. If you look at it at the map from above, that's like a uterus. I think this is by design. Like this is not.
You can't make this and not have it be like. There's a lot.
It's not an accident. I was gonna say.
No, there's a lot of imagery. You move the clit on the fucking vagina door opener. I think this is brilliant.
Yeah, I love that because it's one of those things that they clearly can get away with if they don't say anything about it because they don't have to say anything about it. It's very suggestive in a very open way of like, well.
And it fits.
What do you think this means? Does it have to mean anything? I don't know. But I like it. This is one of the things that's very unique about this game. People are going to remember Metroid Prime 4 as the pussy one.
It's the vagina game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the strongest area.
Fury Green, yeah.
Yes. I think some of the other ones do have interesting visual design too. But I'm a little bit just disappointed that they didn't go more in the direction of the anatomy direction with other places. This place in particular, the Fury Green, it feels very self-contained, you know, as if it's like completely cut out from the rest of the world. I mean,
all of the places do. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, I like some of the set pieces happening.
Oh yeah, the ice place.
Yes, you go through this little base, basically.
It's like a hospital in the ice mountains.
It's an underground hospital base, and you go through it, and it's You know, it's very
It's dark
horror-esque.
and everything's turned
it's frozen over entirely, and you go through and you read some logs and you see like, oh, there's something happened here. The walls are covered with these pods. Something is being kept in here for preservation. What could it be? And then you get to the bottom of it all and you turn on the generator, and it's a very cool design. It's like really big, and the whole facility starts to melt. All the ice around you is melting. There are water coming down from the ceiling. The steam vents are popping as you go through there. There's a bunch of critters that are like coming out because everything's changing, and the music is just like going. The creatures in these pods, they wake up as you go through the section that you've already been through, but now it looks different. And I think that's a really strong point. And then it never gets that good again.
It does remind me of the space pirate base in Fedrona Drifts in Metroid Prime.
Yes, it does. It's very cool.
Very similar set piece, but kind of reversed. I'm thinking something else that I like. I mean, I think it's a competently made game. You know, I think it's not broken or anything. I think it's like if you like Metroid Prime, you should probably be able to vibe enough with this game to just kind of get through it.
Like, okay, so done, it is a Metroid game, Metroid Prime game for sure.
It's a Nintendo game.
It is a Metroid Prime game, like through and through. If you like that stuff, I think you probably will like this one.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Well, I would say this. If you haven't played all the other Metroid Prime games, and I'm counting Federation Force and Hunters,
sure.
If you've got some of those left to play, you could probably actually just kind of go with those for the moment.
Maybe simmering on this one is a good idea.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe get it on sale or something.
It's probably not a bad idea to start with this one either, because I think it sets the bar low enough for you to kind of be wowed by the other ones, maybe.
But I would probably just go with like the Prime one re-release then,
like
because it's
Prime
also
Remastered is available on the Switch.
I haven't played Prime Remastered. We have that one.
Yeah, but I mean, it is available, intact, and like considering it is Metroid Prime, you should probably play that one. But regardless, it's a fine game, perfectly slap dab in the middle. I don't think it's remarkable. I don't think it will wow you. And I don't think it's like necessarily up to the standard that people might expect. But if you're a Metroid Prime fan, you might probably, maybe like it. You see how unsure I am?
Yeah.
Because it's like, there are so many things about this game that I don't like and that I really just don't vibe with at all. Like, it's really a disjointed, strange mess of like really weird design decisions.
There's a lot of stuff I'm just not sure how to feel about too. That's just like, okay. Please. I mean, a lot of people have been upset with this game, and I'm like, because of my expectations were like nothing.
Rock bottom.
I didn't buy this game. You bought this game, so I just kind of sat watching you play it, and then I kind of took the controllers every now and then. My expectations were nothing. I guess it's not a glowing endorsement to say I wasn't pleasantly surprised.
Oh god.
I was just going like, yep, that was a game at best, and at worst he's going like, Jesus fucking Christ.
What the fuck did they do? Yeah, and that's basically
I don't even know where to start, you know.
Yeah, you know, saying that it has high highs and low lows, I don't think that's correct. It has a few high notes.
The one thing that legit just bothered me throughout the entire fucking game. Okay, and I need to just vent about this stuff. We have to stop Samus silent protagonist bullshit thing. It's not true. It hasn't been true since Metroid 2. Metroid 2 was the last fucking game when she was silent. She starts Super Metroid by talking so much. Everyone knows Super Metroid begins with an unskippable cutscene where she speaks too much. I have always known Samus as a character who talks, so when you put her in a game with all these other characters and she doesn't speak, my thinking is, oh no, you think Other M was bad because she spoke. No, the speaking in Metroid Other M was not the problem, and that does not mean that we can't have Samus talk, because right now, seriously, you have these cutscenes where like you have Mackenzie's like he's speaking extensively to Samus. He's explaining stuff, he's asking questions, he's like, oh, am I gonna survive? And she just stands there, dead face staring at him. She's so unlikable. It makes me pissed.
Yeah.
This is not a character anymore. There's a robot in the game. VUE995.
V.
He speaks more than Samus. He has...
More
See,
of
I call him he.
Yeah, it's a character.
This object has more personality than Samus. I fucking hate Samus being like this.
It's fine for the first part where we just see Samus interacting with Mackenzie, and it's a little bit funny from the juxtaposition that Samus is not talking and he is blabbering. But at some point, there's too many characters that are talking, and there's too many opportunities for her to respond with a yes, or like, I am Samus Aran. I think what we're seeing here is another one of those overcorrections from Other M, like you said. It's one of those things where they were like, oh, okay, people hated this, so we're gonna back off. And then they backed off so hard that they like fucking turned in their own rectums, basically. They're fucking stuck. What is that comparison? Anyway, now we're stuck with this. I'm not saying that I think Samus should be like a blabbermouth again.
No.
I don't think she should have like these big inner monologues where she's talking all the time like in Other M. I'm saying that maybe she could be like straight to the point, maybe a little bit held back. She doesn't need to speak much because that still adheres to her character in some sense. But like when a guy is asking her, the base we were talking about before, the
Tokabi,
the sniper guy, and she turns on the fucking system, and he calls her on comms, Samus, what is happening? Because he noticed that there are enemies that are appearing.
Rumblings and stuff, yeah.
And she doesn't answer him.
He keeps calling her, like, what the fuck is going on?
Like,
she doesn't warn him or like, oh, actually, yeah, maybe you should take cover, or like...
take cover, stand back,
these enemies
close the doors.
They're weak in this way or something. No, nothing.
No, I think it's really strange because she could just say like, I'll rendezvous with you soon. Something like, because it's like she's putting him literally in danger at that moment because she's not responding to the comms.
This is what I mean by her becoming unlikable.
We said that it would be really funny if it turns out that her communications, her microphone was broken, and then at the like
helmet stuck.
Yeah, at the end of like the game, Mackenzie would fix it.
She's like, finally,
God, I've been wanting to say so much to you guys.
Couldn't you use sign language or something? I can't do that sign language.
But like
write with on paper. No, my right hand is an ARP cannon.
Yeah, it's really hard. I don't write with the other hand. There are some Metroid fans who think like this is sacrilege to even suggest that she should respond to these motherfuckers. They hate these characters so much that they don't even see them as human, and they think that Samus herself should like slap
that she's
them
like above them.
Like she should slap them in the face and be like an asshole towards them. And I just don't believe that, because Samus is of course not only a hero, but she's a good person. And despite everything, she actually cares about people and the whole universe, humanity, right?
That's why she keeps putting herself in danger.
And like we said, this is not the first time. If you want to talk dialogue specifically, then Fusion 2002, she had dialogue at the end of the game. And people forget this because no one replays Fusion. No one cares about that game because that's apparently the one that sucks.
Bad one.
You can't
the
play that.
One.
You can't replay it. Yeah, a linear one.
So they play it once and then 20 years later they don't recall what happened in it.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where I'm like, no, like she did it right there. It is a constant factor to this character that she does talk in some sense. And like, even if you want to be like, oh, but she doesn't talk because of her trauma.
That doesn't really make sense, because we have to count out Other M then. And Other M is still counted.
Maybe actually.
Like, they haven't, Nintendo hasn't disowned Other M.
Look, Kiki, you could make an argument. No, actually, if you count...
Because Other M has flashbacks.
Does she talk in the flashbacks?
Yes, she has conflict.
Well, there we go.
Here's my fan theory to fix this, to make it make sense. This is what I assume probably is written on the Metroid Wiki next to the article about Santa Claus that should be on there, because Santa Claus is mentioned in the scan logs in Metroid Prime 2. Where's the Santa Claus article?
Yeah, where?
Metroid starts in a Super Metroid tie-in comic for Nintendo Power. Samus gets orphaned on the planet, who cares?
Yeah, Scroombers.
And that's then later written as a manga where she has a traumatic past. Apparently she's a chosen child. I'm not going into that. She is a talkative child and everything.
Yeah.
A young adult. She goes to the academy in Metroid Other M flashback.
And it's still canon, by the way.
Yeah, and then Metroid happens. The first Metroid. And going back to Sebes, apparently, in Zero Mission at least, it does something to her. She like relives her trauma. And she does not get the therapy, so she becomes non-verbal. And here, all the Metroid Prime games happen. And she's just non-verbal. She's like, I'm sign languaging now, not being able to talk.
She does just have one hand, which like might pose a problem.
So, my thinking, Metroid 2 was the moment where she turned around with the baby.
Yeah.
The baby Metroid,
she's
up
like, to something.
Yes, something finally happens. So what we see in the opening of Super Metroid is when she speaks to her speech therapist about what has happened.
Yeah.
You know, like, what did you do last week? Well, you know, like Metroid's exterminated.
You read it in the newspaper.
Yeah, you read it in the newspaper. I did go to the Ceres space station. I just came from there. Now I'm talking now, and I'm feeling this talking thing is going pretty good. Actually, I don't think I need to come back. I think I'm fine now. And the speech therapist is like, that's great. I just got a call from the Ceres space lab. And then Super Metroid happens. And, you know, after that, she goes and has the Other M thing. The main game
where she talks a lot.
She talks a lot because she's like, I'm talking again.
She's
you know,
been
it's fine.
suppressed.
Yeah, Adam meets her and he hasn't seen her be non-talking, so he's just like, you know, whatever. And then fusion happens and she speaks to the Adam AI. But after that, she's like, I don't know about this.
Talking
Maybe
stuff.
if I just speak Shoso language, it would be very convenient if I meet a Shoso guy. That's my headcanon now. This is how it all makes sense.
It would be really convenient if I met a Shoso guy from the race of aliens that are supposedly dead. It's gonna be perfect. Like I said, I don't think she needs to be more than short to the point and short spoken. I think that works perfectly fine. But I think it would be nice if she just says, like, when Mackenzie is very excited about giving her new elemental shot, she would be like, thank you, Myles. Just one of those instead of just nodding. Just say, thank you, Myles. I appreciate it. And some people will say, like, why? No, because it makes her more human. It makes her likable.
I'm gonna say this too.
And, wait. If Kensuke Tanabe is insistent on there being characters to interact with Samus, and if he wants to make a story where we're supposed to care about these characters and how they interact with Samus, and we're supposed to believe in the end that these characters care about each other, especially that Samus cares about them, you need to make her speak. Straightforwardly, you have to do it. Otherwise, Kensuke Tanabe, you need to cut those out. Like, I know you love the Federation soldiers, like, you love them. But, like, otherwise you need to just make a straightforward-ass Metroid game and cut them out.
Yeah, because that's the whole Samus being a silent protagonist thing. That has just always come from, well, most of the time she's just alone.
Most of the time, yes.
With monsters.
But the series, like I said, ever since 2002... Samus has had dialogue, and I think they did it in that game for impact. And I think you can do it here too. Why not?
Yeah,
Can you imagine that at the end, where she says, see you next mission?
I am certain that if she had been talking, and not like talking all the time, it's like very stoically, like it's a few one-liners and stuff, no one would have complained. They would still complain about Myles, but they wouldn't be complaining that Samus is talking.
No.
That would just kind of be natural in that situation. The thing that I kind of feel the most about this game is, like, as a game, that's a little bit like, why is there an open world?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Because, like, how Nintendo's open worlds have been done now, like, Breath of the Wild happens, right? And Nintendo is like, we put a lot of fucking effort into this game, where you can go wherever you want. So we had to redesign the core of Zelda, tear it apart and put it together again to make it work so that you could go anywhere you want. You could go to the final boss if you wanted to. And then they kind of apply this to other games.
Like Mario.
Like Mario.
Bowser's Fury.
Yeah.
People were talking about it already in Odyssey that some of the places like Costa Arena were very huge. They're like very freeform. The New Donk City, very freeform. You had Donkey Kong Bonanza too. that's kind of moving on from that. Where like the levels are of course levels, but they're very open.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like they're applying it to games that aren't necessarily open world games, and like just pushing in that direction where the freedom is the important part, right? That's why they've done this. Like Donkey Kong Bonanza, if you hop into a level, you can go everywhere, do the thing. But then for some reason, Retro Studios decided that, you know what, we're gonna do this with Metroid. But we're not gonna like redesign the core of Metroid. Like we're not gonna take it apart and put it together again like they did. No, it's gonna be the exact same. There's just gonna be an open world slap dab in the middle of the map. Imagine the little hub section of Metroid Prime 2, but bigger and even more useless.
Well, it's like a Hyrule field in like Twilight Princess, where it's just a really big field with nothing in it.
But even bigger.
It's a little bit like if Shadow of the Colossus had no sauce. Though I think that the one comparison that kept cropping into my mind because of how it's structured is the original Assassin's Creed, where there is an open world segment in the middle of the game, but then there's like you kind of go into like these
little
intestinal canals in mountain cracks to go to like Jerusalem or whatever, where you have the city sections that are their own little self-contained open segments. This is very similar to that, where you have to just go to little ass cracks in the world to get to another area that's completely disconnected from it. So in the Assassin's Creed from 2007, same year as Metroid Prime 3 comes out, you have an open world with like, you know, encampments, towers to climb, you know, like enemies to fight, there's horse riding, there's sneaking to do, there's, what is it, like 100 flags to collect. It's not a lot. At the time, people were like, yeah. And I just think back to that with almost like rose-tinted glasses while playing Metroid Prime 4. I used to think like, god damn, you know, that was kind of nice.
I think this open world is so unnecessary. There are some things you can do in it, but it is very much just a area of traversal. You go between spaces here.
It's a big desert.
I think I would be more okay with it if it looked more distinct. Yeah. If it was more like the rest of the game, where it's visually stunning and the art direction is great. But here they just like, nah dude, we're not gonna waste time on that shit. It's so out of place. And what I really find strange is that the first thing that Myles says when you come out here is basically, you can go do these Zelda dungeons in any order you want. But he is actually lying.
Yes.
It's a lie. You can't actually go anywhere because we went to...
We're like, let's just go somewhere then.
Yeah. Because we trusted him. So we went to...
the last part, apparently.
And we're like looking, oh, you need a spider ball here. Like, you can't even...
We go into an area and it's like, no, you can't do anything.
Then we go into the fucking ice area. There are 3 loading transitions right in this place. So we go through the door and it loads. And then we go into the room and we go down the elevator and it loads. And then we go through this little fucking trolley thing that's like, and then it loads. And we go in there. There's 2 rooms of nothing. And it's like, what the fuck is this? And we're like looking around and we go out.
3 cutscenes again to get back to the open world.
Yeah, but like...
So 6 in total?
So we go out again. This is when Mackenzie just like rings us up after we've been like roaming around a little bit.
Before we have a time to get to the third option, which was the last one, he calls and says, you should go to the volcano. It's like, yeah, but that was the last one. If you want me to explore, at least let me explore till I find it naturally.
Okay,
so that was just so... like, why does he say you can go anywhere? And it's not true. And from that point on, you're just like, I should just sit and wait for him to say where I'm supposed to go. Because goddamn, if he's just gonna do that anyway, I'm just wasting my time.
Yeah, if you wanted to do this, like the open world... you should have made it so you can go anywhere. But in a Metroid game, that's really hard. Because if you keep the same Zelda-esque design, lock and key stuff, you can't really do it, can you?
No.
Because then it will be linear, and you have to do it in a certain direction. So it becomes pretty useless, like kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, why even do it? Because you could have made a entirely new set of items that like works in this idea, right? And then you have some major items that like unlock areas in the areas.
The subsets of mini Metroidvanias. This whole thing feels like executive meddling. This feels like they had a game Because it feels like two different games. That's my problem. They needed a thing. It feels like some executive was like, we should have an open world. Where's the open world? So this is kind of like an open world. But Nintendo doesn't feel like the company to have the weird executive guy going in. There should be a motorcycle.
Kensuke Tanabe going like...
Is he the middle manager doing that shit? I don't know. But like it is like two different games. You have a really awkward like transition stretch between them. They don't interact. Like you go into the desert and you go on a bike, so you don't even play it the same way. It really is like two different games. And what I really think about here is that Metroid level design is what we have come to call Metroidvania. This is the whole thing of like the interconnected areas. This game doesn't have that. Everything
not
is
at all.
so disconnected. So you go in the map, like the overworld, take the bike to like the volcano, and you go into the volcano, and it's just like one straight line into the volcano base thing where you do a thing, and then it's straight out again.
There might be a little shortcut back to like the middle.
They don't loop around much on themselves.
They don't evolve.
They don't have like, here's an elevator to this other area. Nothing like that.
No. It's completely disconnected, yeah. Like, it's really strange, because this game, if there's something it could use, it is some interconnectedness.
Yes!
Like, just take some cues from Metroid Prime 1.
I feel like they had maybe the rumblings of something like that first, but then they were like, no, let's just add an open world in between them, and that means we can't really go in between them because we need to use the open world, so let's just take away all the connections between these areas, because I feel that if they were connected more like the old Metroid Prime games, like 1 and 2, where you would probably be going through these areas a little bit more naturally. Is it because people hated backtracking?
No, but that doesn't make sense. Like, look, the thing is
that's the genre. That's backtracking the genre.
But it's not even that. It's like stuff like this, you know, when the map at some point loops around on itself. There's like little shortcuts that you open to other areas, so you can like go between it in different ways to like incentivize exploration. That's the stuff that makes it actually less of a chore to backtrack. That's what facilitates backtracking in a good way. So like, it's really strange when all of these areas are completely cut off from each other, and there's no way to get to them other than going out all the way.
The four corners of the world
like
map.
It's so tedious to go back into these areas and collect new things.
But yeah, because you have to go through the same fucking place again in a straight line, and then you get the thing. At best, there's like a little teleport thing to just take you straight back. But it's so cheap, because it's like, that's just kind of sidestepping the problem. Is instead of having like a world that kind of satisfyingly loops around itself, you're like, oh, I'm back here now.
Yeah. It's really strange, and I have no idea why they did this, because it really fucking sucks. The fact that you have these motorcycles, for example, I find it so weird that there's no place where you can like drive the motorcycle between these places, for example.
Some little highway or something.
Like, why is there no fucking old like Akira highway between like between the fucking Volt Forge and the volcano? Did no one build a road?
Yeah, this is the thing where it also feels like it's disconnected. I was thinking that like
all of these places feels like they are nothing.
The ancient race of the week for this game is the Lamorne.
Vagina people.
The vagina people, yeah. So the basic lore is they had their industrial age or machine era or whatever, where they mined ore and made motorbikes. An endless
it's the only thing they made.
Onslaught of motorbikes.
They were like,
the motorbike factory, they make so many motorcycles. It's obscene. This led them to like use
draining all the resources of the
and fucking
planet.
themselves up. They realized, fuck,
that's not good.
That's not good. And they forced themselves into the psychic era or whatever it was. I don't remember. I don't fucking care. In which they were like, now we're gonna farm green crystals from the volcano
and make ourselves psychic
and implant them into the. Oh yeah, they have like real eugenics, like the Shoso, by the way, where some of them are born special with psychic powers. But you know what? Let's make everyone special. So they use these green crystals to implant them into the normies, you know, in the ice cap hospital. But oops, we did something fucked up, so they all go crazy. Fuck, not my problem. Let's just bail. They leave the planet. One of them goes like, the chosen one will come.
12 of you will go out and I'll stay and wait for the chosen one while you like go look for the chosen one. And
Didn't find him.
Didn't find him. And then it's like, hopefully you'll come sometime.
Basically, the bike factory is still there, intact, operation. You switch on the switch and it just fucking starts spewing at bikes again. Endless supply of bikes.
So many bikes.
Okay,
Samus doesn't even turn it off. Like, I think it's really mean.
Just like, he just keeps spouting bikes forever. If the bike factory is that intact, all the bike infrastructure should be back. And if you're saying they didn't have any roads, they didn't need them, they had open world desert, you know, where are the bikes?
Where are the bikes?
Where are the fucking... where are the parking lots? Where are the fucking drive-through restaurants? What the fuck?
So at some point they stopped using them. But what we are saying, basically, to make it more clear, is that if there was a whole society around these bikes, because that's like the main thing that they produced for a while until the whole planet...
I'm gonna say, I'm not really upset about this part. It's just very funny.
No, but it's just funny, and it ties into something. But it's like, okay, so they make bikes until the whole planet's resources is like fucking gone, and they're like, fuck.
Too many bikes.
But you're telling me that this bike-centric society does not have roads, does not have highways, does not have like infrastructure for these bikes to drive on, except for in the fucking forge where they make them? Did they just use them on the racetrack and it was so fucking fun? Like,
everyone loved to go to bike driving school, but that was it.
There's a racetrack in the Volt Forge and everyone's like probably living there and like, fuck yeah, the Volt Forge, yeah, we're gonna drive the bike. But like,
it wasn't much else for entertainment they had, yeah.
But see, this is like, I think here is an opportunity to interconnect the areas. At least like, oh, if you are in Ice Cap, you can go to Fury Green and the volcano by the little highway.
This is why it feels like executive meddling, like two games connected into one. Because like, I feel like if you were gonna make a Metroid game that's an open world from scratch with a bike, I think a lot of ideas maybe write themselves from that. Like, you're coming up with ideas of like how to do it interestingly. Like, what if the entire game is based on it? Because you go into the subsections, like the real game basically, and you don't really use the bike. There's like one part where the bike becomes a little helicopter and you fight one boss, but that's it.
To be specific also, the main problem is not linearity in itself. If you look at like Metroid Fusion, and I think in some sense like Metroid Prime a little bit, but like there are more linearity in these areas sometimes.
Yes.
Metroid Fusion still adheres to the whole idea of
Metroid
like...
Fusion had a point with it.
Yeah, but it's also like the main hub area where you move between them is really small.
Yeah.
But the areas still loop around themselves naturally, and you open up new paths and all of that stuff.
You can go in between them.
And you can go in between them. This is what I'm talking about. Like, there are levels to this. Like, when we're trying to describe this, like, I'm basically saying that the levels are like so substandard when it comes to anything you've ever imagined about a Metroidvania. Like, I'm sorry, it's really awful. It's just straight corridors, and there's no fucking opportunity to actually like explore and find other paths and get lost a little bit maybe. And Fury Green, like the first area, it might give you the wrong impression when you're first playing it.
It is kind of emblematic of the game.
Yes, because
itself. It's very nice looking.
Yeah, if you look at it the first time, you might be like, oh, this looks great. Like, this is your first impression. You're like, wow, it's going to be amazing. But like, why is this not an area you come back to more? Because you have to go back to it several times throughout your playthrough.
It's a corridor.
Yes, it is.
It's an L-shaped corridor. You go through it once.
No, but it's really strange because, like, okay, so one of the things that we got really mad about in the beginning, we were talking about now how we thought we could go anywhere and then we, like, meander for, like, an hour and a half, probably, until we get to where we were supposed to go. And at that point, we go to the volcano because Mackenzie told us, and then we get to the fucking volcano. And we go in the straight line, as always. We go straight forward, and then we get to the end of it, and there's, like, a stop, like, there's nothing here. And we managed to pick up a little ship that is supposedly some kind of upgrade. And it says, like, you need a level 4 engineer to attach this fucking ship to your stupid gun. Dude, we have been fucking roaming around for 1.5 hours in this fucking stupid world trying to figure out where to go because you said we could go anywhere.
It wasn't 1.5
now
hours.
Whatever. It's like too long. It's like an hour or something. I have no idea. It feels like we can check.
You can check.
It doesn't matter. It feels like fucking a lifetime.
It was 45 minutes.
We have to go back to Mackenzie to fix this fucking ship. Like, you're telling me we were roaming around like idiots and then fucking getting there, and he's like instantly, go back to the place you were before. And it's like, what the fuck is this? This is like the worst kind of backtracking where you just go through corridors and then you go out in the open world and you go back to Fury Green. And this is where I am stupid and I don't use the cannon to go back, so I have to walk through the fucking thing one more time. So that's my fault. So since we have to go back to Mackenzie several times during this playthrough, because there are 3 different elemental weapons to attach to your gun, and every time you need to go back to Mackenzie, which is fine in itself. But here's my fucking question. Why is Fury Green not more important? For example, let's say you go back with a new upgrade, and suddenly, whoa, new area.
Like a Metroid game.
Like a Metroid game. And wouldn't that be cool then, if it also like connected to the other areas?
Okay,
like,
I was just gonna stop here, like, because you're completely running past another fucking thing. Okay, why do I go across the fucking world into the fucking volcano and get this fucking ship? Or like, oh, this is a fire ship thing. Could be good to make a gun. Let's go back to the fucking guy, and he's like writing on his keyboard. Here we go. 5 seconds.
Samus.
Here you go. Here's fire beam. It's like, why do I need to go back for this? Just give me the fire beam at the fucking place. Fuck you.
And now we could go into the fucking ice place, by the way. Isn't that the most funny thing? We were like, oh, we want to go to the ice place. Oh, no, fuck you. And then we go to the fireplace. And we go back to Mackenzie. And now we can go to the ice place.
If you're gonna give me a fucking voucher, give me a choice. Let me pick what the fuck I buy.
I'm sorry. This was like, I think this like colored our entire experience, because my fucking god, can you imagine going to a place you want to go to because he said that you can go there, and then he's like, no, go there instead, and then when you get the thing that he wants and you go back to him, he says now you can go to the place you wanted to go. Fuck you. And we're talking like going into the fucking volcano takes like 5 minutes.
It takes 5 minutes to load the fucking area. That's what you're talking about. And you need to go back again. That in mind, it is amazing that I still kind of like Myles.
Yes, but that's the thing. Like,
it's likable. That's a good sign.
Like I said before, there is a caveat, of course. Like, Mackenzie himself is perfectly fine. When I leave the ship to him, I'm very satisfied. I think it's very fun to see him excited about tinkering with this thing. And then he's like, whoa, look at this thing. It's a little bit sad that the things he makes are like the most boring things in the entire universe. He's like, electric shock, fire shock, in fucking ice shot. Dude, what is this? Fucking Spyro year of the Enter the Dragonfly?
Kindergarten beam upgrades.
Oh my god. And all of them are the same. Like, that's the most boring thing I've ever fucking seen. Like, these items fucking suck my ass. Like, I'm sorry, but it's like all of them do the same, and none of them are better than the fucking regular beam. And there's not almost no opportunity to use them for anything like satisfying. You know, oh, this boss is a fire boss, so you use the ice. No, like, fuck that, dude.
I mean, he did use the ice beam for that one, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, it doesn't matter.
No.
Like, it's really fucking unimportant.
I want to go loop it back around to the open world because I'm not fucking done with
this
shit.
No, fuck that.
I know, like, I like when Metroid tries new stuff. I'm not sure about the bike.
No.
I don't know about the bike.
The bike would be fine.
On paper, I should be fine with it, but it's like, it's just so stupid and it's not cool.
Nice.
My biggest tip for Metroid developers, don't try to be cool, because anytime you're like intently trying to be cool, I'm getting like, oh my god, this is like a 12-year-old designed this shit.
Don't do that Kira slide.
Yeah, that's forbidden now. Akira did it, what, like 37 years ago now or something?
You're not allowed
and you've done it so, like, no. And I get it, of course. Samus says, bikes, you gotta do the Akira slide. It's like, oh god. Don't make it a special move. It's not that fucking important. Have it in one cutscene. Who gives a shit? So the open world. Yeah. It's very interesting to have a desert as your open world with dunes and everything. It means you can hide stuff in the world. So you see everything from a distance, but they're all in pits. Yeah, you can talk.
So one thing that is really nice about Breath of the Wild that I think a lot of people forget is that game is so designed around sightlines, landmarks, seeing a thing and going there. The open world in this game is completely flat. There are basically no landmarks at all. it's really hard to just travel it without looking
one
at
landmark, and it's in the middle. There's a tower, and you see like the ice mountain and volcano. They're like set dressing. You don't literally go up to the volcano. You go into a corridor, and then now I'm in the volcano.
But like the area is really flat. But then it also has the dunes, like you said. So oftentimes when you like just drive, you will like see nothing because there's a big dune in front of you, and then you go over, and then you're in a pit, basically a dune pit, and then you see nothing again. I don't understand. This is a Nintendo game, and that's what's so weird to me, because like you were the guys, they published Zelda Breath of the Wild, a game that's like put a whole wrench in the open world thing. And
everyone took notice, yeah.
And here we are, fucking almost 10 years after the fact.
8 years later.
Like, it's almost 10 years after. And these guys are like, it's almost like they didn't even look at that game.
No.
I don't understand. I'm so
confused. It feels so old.
It feels so old. It
feels like I'm playing a game from... Yeah.
Like, no, earlier, probably.
This could be a Wii game.
Yeah. Yes, it could. Derogatory, by the way. And then, of course, we're not done with open world, because I think this is like the worst part of this game. Like, it destroys everything. So, in this open world, there's also a thing that you need to collect. First of all, they did steal one thing from Zelda, and that was shrines. There's 6 shrines that you can find. And you basically have to, in some sense.
Yeah, you get a little bonus beam up.
Other than that, there
isn't like a shard shot.
There isn't that much. But what is there is green fucking crystals, and you need to collect a lot of these green crystals to finish the video game. I read that there were a lot of people complaining about this because they didn't traverse the open world.
Luckily, you read about that, so you knew, okay, I gotta get a lot of green crystals.
Yeah, but it's also, before that, I kind of just listened to the fucking Lamorne guy saying, like, collect these, you'll fucking need them.
They do tell you in the beginning,
They tell them. So if you didn't listen, tough fucking luck, because you're gonna have a fucking shitty-ass time at the end.
I mean, having played previous Metroid Prime games, it was obvious you had to get all that stuff.
Yes.
But it does entail that, like, when you're running into the open world and you're like, oh, there's some green crystals, go through them. You have to. If you think of, like, how much of a collectible you think you need to beat the game, and when they're just kind of lying about the Carol crystals in the open world, whatever you think, it's a good amount more than what you feel would be necessary. So it's to the point where you're like, okay, drive the bike through the crystals to collect them, but also if you miss them, you have to like kind of turn around and kind of get them. The bike is hard to control also. It's very finicky and weird. We had to go farm a little bit at the end of the game to get them. Not very much.
No, because if you go into all of the shrines, you will get a lot of the crystals.
The fact that we had been very meticulous trying to actually swerve around the desert getting the crystals throughout the game, because we knew we had to get to that point. That was the saving grace, because otherwise, oh god, I'm not sure. But
I don't know if I would.
I might have just skipped.
Yeah.
He's ending up on YouTube, you know, fuck. Oh.
The main problem with this game, I think, is the disjointed nature of it, how disconnected it is, how all of the areas are completely cut off from each other, how they don't loop around, how they like kind of are the worst kinds of Metroidvania levels I've ever seen, and how the open world just kind of like
I have one Metroidvania game that I find even more atrocious in level design.
No, don't be mean.
Okay, I'm not gonna mention it. I just know that there is one I feel is even worse. Yeah. Can you guess which one it is? Write in the comments.
I think this is probably like the biggest problem with the entire game. Like, it's just a slog to travel through.
I've been thinking, you know, the whole like Bandai Namco's, what is it, Singapore or something?
Yeah,
we're working on this game.
Nintendo just bought them.
Oh yeah, they were working on this game. And for whatever reason, they have to restart development from scratch and hand it over to Retro Studios. So I'm thinking, like, here's 2 takeaways from that. Number one, no one wanted to make this game. This game
Kensuke Tanabe wanted to write the story.
Well, the one guy doesn't make an entire team, you know.
No.
So,
he's just
like,
a guy.
it feels like this was a game that just kind of had to exist for the Switch 1 lineup. It had to be made.
And now it just happened to be attached to
they gave it
Switch
to Bandai Namco. They don't, for whatever reason, they can't figure this out. Maybe they don't want to do it. I mean, like, they're professionals, whatever. But, like, they're not the guys to make it.
Yeah, it didn't come together.
To the point where they have to, like, fuck, we have to hand it over to the Americans. The Americans know what the fuck to do. They know shooting games.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, when you're Retro Studios and you get, like, this thrown at you and you're like, oh, I don't think they were really like super excited to make this game.
A lot of the people who made the Prime games are not even there anymore.
No, exactly.
So it's one of those things.
So it's not really the same people.
Like, I would imagine the reason why they moved on after Metroid Prime 3 is because they wanted to make Donkey Kong in this case. But
they had done 3 of them. That is so much. 3 games is a lot. So a 4th one, that's why it was never really exciting to me, because like there's already a lot of these ones. But I was also thinking, you know, Americans do fucking first-person shooter games. Maybe Bandai Namco in Singapore were like, we don't want to make this shit. This is boring. We want to make a bike game. Like, is that what happened?
I don't know.
And then Nintendo like, this is kind of good, but we still need like the Metroid Prime part. And they're like,
fuck, not the Metroid Prime part.
And we don't know how to make a first-person shooter game. Get the Americans. And Americans had to like kind of add that on top of it. Like I don't know, maybe.
Evidently, Retro Studios didn't know how to do it either. Like, I don't know.
We will never know what happened.
No, but
here.
like, it feels so strange because, yeah, as a sequel to Metroid Prime 3, it kind of makes sense that it would be more linear. Mm-hmm. But I think it goes even further than that did. And then, as a sequel to Federation Force,
which
of course,
it really is.
Yeah,
this is what it actually
that's what people need to understand. This is a direct sequel, not to Metroid Prime 3, but to Federation Force.
Then Evolution makes a lot more sense of like just the kind of space
like,
of time
I can see where this game is coming from, like what it's fed through, because it's like, oh, you know, but Metroid Prime 3 was like this. But I think they should have taken more cues from Metroid Prime 1 and kind of evolved that concept a little bit. Because, like, I don't know.
I'm also thinking now, the whole thing of like, it feels like a game from back then. I don't know, maybe they had an old design plan from the Wii days that you just kind of dusted off. Like, who knows?
Blow on the fucking document. Okay. Mackenzie, finally.
He has been sketching out his OC for years.
Yeah.
My lasting impression playing this is that it feels like you're playing an old Metroid Prime game, a little bit like rough around the corners, a little bit scuffed, and there's a big bike part in the middle of it. What's interesting is since Metroid Prime 3, a big thing has happened in the video game landscape overarchingly. The whole idea of a sort of self-contained game scale dungeon where you get items, that whole design has become popularized enough to be labeled as a genre. Metroidvania. It even has Metroid in the title. Back then, I know people go like, Metroidvania was coined at this point. Back in 2007, we didn't call them that.
It wasn't that
called
common
them
either.
those side-scrolling games that are like a Zelda dungeon.
Well, basically, what we're saying is, at some point after this, it becomes so popular that this is like just an entire group of games where you can get this fucking thing.
They keep being made to the point where like I'm kind of sick of Metroidvanias at this point. What is really important here, that I just feel like playing this, I'm just going like, oh damn. Why is Metroid so stuck in its ways where it has to like continue using the same items all over again? It's like this game is almost a little bit embarrassed by like, oh, it's Spider Ball again. Oh no, it's the Morph Ball boost. It's Morph Ball.
It's the grapple.
It's a grapple beam. Yeah. It's almost like it's embarrassed. It's but like, what if you put psychic in front of it? Say it's a psychic boots. Yeah. Or you can stand on invisible fucking.
But it is just
now,
the space.
Like, it's still platforms, yeah. Because I think a big part of a Metroidvania game is a sort of a mystique and an intrigue and a surprise. You start playing a game like, say, you know, Axiom Verge, very Metroid-esque. But when you start playing Axiom Verge, you don't know Axiom Verge, it's tropes and everything. So you see little bits and bobs in Overworld and go, I don't know what this is. And then you get an item. And you might not even be sure
how it works,
where to implement it. Then you have to kind of figure it out and go, I can do this now. We're like, what? I can do, this
changes everything.
This changes everything. Stuff like that. And I feel like not only has the Metroidvania genres completely outpaced Metroid now to the point where you guys are back in like the 90s. Like Metroid Prime in itself was derivative of Super Metroid. This feels like almost like a nepotism game in a way that like an indie dev making a Metroidvania has to fucking fight for their lives to be striking and interesting and everything. And then these guys go like, what if you get like super missiles?
Again.
Again.
Of course, there are not many Metroid Prime likes. whatever the fuck that means. But like in general, making a Metroid game, kind of like Arkham Asylum or something, like I think you can do that in 3D. I think it will probably be a bit harder to make it all, you know, fit together maybe. But like maybe it doesn't need to be like straight line and then elevator, straight line, elevator, straight line, elevator. Oh, you need to go back. Like, maybe it doesn't need to be that. Maybe it has been a bit outpaced, especially when you're talking about the items. Like, this game had the biggest opportunity in the world, where Samus is being teleported to a completely different system. Like, we don't even know where on the space map it is.
I think it's almost implied to be like an alternate universe.
Mackenzie says, like, oh, we don't know where exactly it is. Like, it's so far away. Why do these guys have a bunch of tech that utilizes the morph ball? A Shoso thing, which is like, yeah, sure, fine. The Shoso were all over.
Ball-centric society.
I mean, like, why is it ball-centric society everywhere? And I guess if we look at Metroid Prime Hunters, we have to kind of assume that, like, the ball principle, like the ball-centric society, is just all over the galaxy. And I guess if you want to be like that, yeah, you know, the Shoso touched a lot of people, like the fucking Luminov and maybe the Lamorne, but they never talk about them. So
maybe they were mentioned in the logs of the old games.
I don't know.
Think
I
so,
don't. I hope not. But why? Why is it the same things? Why is there not a new thing? Like, sure, we have the psychic beam shot, but that's just used to do the fucking arrow thing where you shoot a shot and it goes in slow motion, and you hit a thing. So it's basically Heavenly Sword. And a lot of other of these games, you know,
the psychic powers are very underutilized.
Yes.
When they showed it in the trailer, I was going like, oh, this is the opening stuff. They're gonna get real complex later on, and they don't. Nope. Samus can open doors, indeed.
It's so underutilized. There is one power where you basically can, like, pick up a morph ball bomb and put it in your hand and throw it.
I remember seeing it first and thinking like, oh shit, this might get a bit complicated later on. And
No. Every time you do this, which is very few times, you pick up the bomb and you throw it into a slot. That's it. There's nothing else. A lot of lock and
key stuff.
Like, I guess, it's the same thing, you know, with the open door things. I love that they put that in the trailer, where there's like, Samus can open doors, and it's like that fucking one where it's like a little fan. She opens it with her fingers.
Folding door, yeah.
Yeah, folding door. That happens once in the entire game. And
that was
I think it was
trailer.
once. I think it might have been two, but I think there was one. If there are two, all of them are at least in Fury Green. I'm just wondering, like, why couldn't you figure out some new items? There are some, like, for example, when you get the spider ball, which is just the spider ball, they introduced the idea that you can, like,
slingshot it.
You can slingshot it.
That wasn't a thing in, like, Prime 3.
I
never
think
played
so.
Prime 3, so I don't know.
Not as far as I remember. But you can basically slingshot yourself. Think like Super Mario Galaxy, the little stars, basically. A little bit. But you can, like, you pull down the stick and then you let it go and, like, it flies off. And that's cool and fun. Please, more of that shit. Like, what do you mean? It's so weird that, like, you have the opportunity to make anything. You could make new, interesting ways to interact with the world in this place where you're so far removed from...
Do stuff with the bike.
No, like, but like the rest of the universe where you've been before. But you don't introduce, like, anything new. No, it's just missiles. Yeah. But they're psychic now.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, okay. You get the space jump. Oh, they're psychic now. You couldn't think of one new item? And then we have the, like I said...
There really are no surprises, really.
Like I said, the elemental shots are really... It's just boring.
Everything new is shown in the trailer, and you get it in, like, the first hour.
Yeah.
After that, it's like, well, you haven't had an electric shot before, but it's like, you had the wave beam.
What do you think?
That's so similar.
Okay, audience, what do you think you do with the electric shot?
Write in the comments what you think the electric shot does.
I just want to, like, emphasize that I think it's just really boring that they would do this without, like, introducing at least a few ones. Like, I get getting the super missile, I get having a few beams, but, like...
Yeah, you can have traditions and staples, but please give us something new.
when you're like, this is like the fucking 100th time you're in the volcano. Oh, it's a facility in a volcano.
It's a lava level.
Dude, you just introduced the fucking vagina forest to us. And you're like, now let's go to the fucking volcano. And it's like, why is it not the butthole volcano? Like, what are you talking about? Like, why is it not like the green ooze place?
Yeah, because they are farming green.
I know,
so
there are some
when I
green
first got
ooze.
there and saw like the little green patches in the lava, I was thinking like, oh, maybe this is gonna be like a green fire level. Not
No.
very interesting, but like that's something.
At least it's something. But no, it is Magmore Cavern, but like there is a facility in there. Okay, so here's the worst thing.
This is nitpick hardcore, but
this
it is
a
an annoying
nitpick, but
thing.
I'm gonna say this. So I'm kind of over scanning in these games. I
Yeah.
understand that this is like a
Tradition
feature.
now,
This is a
apparently.
feature that has to be in Metroid games because for some reason fans love it. They're like, oh, I get my lore. And it's like most of the things you scan are just like, this is a door. It can be opened with a key. Or like,
This
thing
is a container containing materials. It cannot be opened.
by any explosives. And then there's those Kringles machine. It's offline. And it's like, dude, this doesn't mean anything.
You scan like a moth on the wall, and it's like, these are the Caligara moths. They live in dark areas.
Yeah, you
They
think
feed.
on scraps.
Kill it with a missile.
Yeah.
Real page turner.
Scanning the creatures, I'm fine with. You know, you don't know exactly what is important, and you just scan like a computer screen, and it's like LCD screen from the fucking machine era. It smells like shit, but it looks cool.
No, that's real flavor text. They wouldn't say that.
No, but it's
They would
like
say screen used in the machine era.
It's
Offline.
Offline. And it's like, dude, this doesn't mean shit. When you go into an area, and one of the best things about this game that people have touted is the visuals. And I think it's kind of counterproductive that the thing that you do when you enter an area is kind of, you know, counteract the beautiful visuals by opening the scan visor to make everything look like fucking shit.
Yeah.
People say like, oh, it's so immersive. It like takes me in. But for me, I think it kind of like ruins my experience of the atmosphere and everything.
Complete
like,
opposite, yeah.
it is complete opposite. It's like, I don't want this fucking
But I just
on.
want to say that scanning feels so old. Like back in Metroid Prime 1,
Yeah.
that must have been one of the first games to really do like the lore log thing of like,
It was an
you
early
collect
example, yes.
things to learn about the backstory, so you don't really need to make a story in this game. Metroid Prime 4 has a story, so I think the scanning stuff feels superfluous. Also,
And the guys tell
there
you.
isn't much fucking lore to get here.
I don't.
You don't
find it.
have like the space pirate logs or the Shoso logs or anything. There's like one or two
There's some
places
Lamorne
where you
shit.
can get the
Like
Lamorne thing, but that's like a cutscene.
But they were also like, they put like their logs, you know, like when you go, you know, when you're in Bioshock and you pick up the fucking radio recordings, it's basically like those where they've just put a little device on a table and then you scan it and that's how you get the
I
lore.
forgot about. Wait,
Yeah.
okay, those exist. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
like it's not like it's baked into like a computer screen or something.
guess
It
it
doesn't
has those
happen.
a little
Yeah,
bit,
but
yeah.
it doesn't happen that often where you just
No.
scan a screen and it says like the Lamorne were trying to kill themselves with the fucking Kramer switch.
Yeah, what I was gonna say,
Anyway, yes.
is that it feels so old because I feel at this point it's like if you've been in stasis for 20 years and like have not really considered all the other games that have been released since.
You know
so,
this
like,
is sacrilege.
I am
right?
so fucking sick of this shit. I don't want to scan stuff in Metro games anymore because I've also realized that I don't read it.
No,
I skim at best, and then it says like, this is made from Galanga's alloy.
Galanga's alloy.
And it's like, what was that one again? Oh, it's a power bomb. Okay, and like, I don't remember this shit. If this fucking stupid AI shit is gonna make up a little flavor text for Samus because that's what happens, you know, it's like it's not real encyclopedias. Just make shit up.
Yeah, maybe it's just you know,
Can it-
hallucinate.
can it hallucinate what I'm supposed to use on it? I love the gaminess of the real Metroid games when you fucking morph ball bomb a wall and it's like a missile picture.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm using a missile. That's so
Or like the
gamey,
doors
but
are
it's,
red.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful because it doesn't fucking have to go like, we're so fucking serious.
No, but
Balango's alloy. Like I'm supposed to give a shit about it. Like,
and
fuck off.
it says like you need to use an extremely conclusive shot on the thing, and you're like, oh, that must be the super missiles, and then you use the super missiles, and oh no, it's the power bomb.
Yeah.
Like,
Like different kinds of concussive shocks.
yeah,
This is not a concussive shock, it's an explosive shock. I think both are going to do about the same damage, dude.
And anyway, first of all, this is sacrilege. I know a lot of people love this, but
Dude,
like,
fuck
it's fine.
it, I don't care.
Don't worry about it.
We're always so positive. Metroid is the one thing that makes us pissed and angry
So
and
you can like that. It's fine.
It's probably very uncharacteristic for us.
Anyway,
people are shocked watching
anyway,
this.
whatever. So one of the most annoying thing I think with the fucking...
This is the nitpick.
Yeah, but I think also it kind of exemplifies why I don't like it that much. Because, you know, a lot of times when you, in the 2D Metroid games, and I understand why it's different in the 3D ones, because you have a lot more space to look at, I think it's fine that you can scan them to see something that you might not have picked up on. It's kind of like putting a high contrast on the screen, right? That's what it excels at. But like, when the thing is, I see a thing and I'm like, that's a grapple thing. If I attach my grapple thing to this, I will be able to pull it off, right? But then I can't pull it off. Oh, wait. I need to scan it first. I need to make sure that I can pull it. And then you pick up the scan visor and you're like, this thing you can pull off with a lot of force. And then you have to turn off the visor. Oh, now there's an icon for you to pull the fucking thing. And you're like, okay. Like, and you have to do this so many times in this game. Like,
it's baffling.
Why can't I just pull
I don't
the
know,
thing?
because the regular grapple beam where you're gonna like
it's
Tarzan your way across, that doesn't have that.
No,
you can
that
use the
doesn't have
like
that.
this feels like there's like a programming error or something, and the only way they could solve it was to have like a thing. What if you scan it and you can like reload it, and it's like, yeah, that's the thing, that's the ticket, let's just do that with all of them. There's like one in the game that had that, so like, well, let's just do it with all of them so people get used to doing it or something. I don't know. It's weird.
It's just a small thing.
Yeah, this is the nitpick.
But I do think it's really fucking annoying. That just puts a damper on my experience with the visor. Me scanning things when I don't see something. If I go into a room and I'm like, I don't know what to do, and then I put on the visor and it highlights things in green, then I'm like, that's good. Good thinking. That's really an accessibility thing. I love that. Great job. But then when they're like, no, you have to go into it to just be able to pull this fucking little plug thing off. That's bullshit. What do you mean? Anyway, what a great game. Don't you think it's great? Yeah. I love this game. So at one point where we were reaching the end a little bit, we were starting to like go back and like do some old things, and like we were driving around the open world doing something.
The stuff.
Yeah, I was actually starting to have a little bit of fun. I'm still being a little bit annoyed by the fact that I have to travel the world like this. But like this, and every time I have to go into a new area, that stuff is pretty good. I was like having fun whenever I went into an area, and I'm like, this time I'm going to meet a robot. And it's very nice. Thank you. I talk to the robot and I play a little bit, and I'm like, thank fuck, it's a video game now.
The robot was fun.
Yeah.
He threw you like a ball.
He
like
threw me like a ball, and I like all of those bits.
Little
That's
bits
the parts
spark,
I like. But in between all of those segments, you have to do a bunch of fucking shit. And I just don't think it's up to par, like even close. And I think the only thing we like have left to talk about, and this is like probably the only spoiler
yeah,
thing.
we can get into the spoiler part. Like, I mean, there are 5 main areas of the game. We talked about 4 of them. There's the 5th one, and then there's the final part. And this is like what the last couple hours of the game. It's not a lot. Alicia is fucking blazed through this shit, so spoiler warning. When you hear the Super Metroid sound, spoilers.
This game is really funnily generic, because when you like go to the mine area, the 5th area, you go with all your newfound pals, you know, your Federation buddies. We gotta go down here and do the thing.
This is almost like a suicide mission.
And it's like straight lines all the way through, because it's an action set piece, and we're like, that's fine. I'm with my pals, and that's fun. I am having fun with this fucking shit. And then it's like, it's so generic, because you're like, everyone's gonna get picked off one by one. They make they make a sacrifice first.
There's no other way.
First, the sniper guy, Tokabi, and the VU, they stand back in the beginning because a lot of fucking Lamorne creatures
too many of
come.
them.
Yeah, all of the creatures come out. Go, we'll hold them back.
Yeah, they're
and
all
then you go
Halo
down.
reaching up in there.
Yeah, they're all Halo reaching. And then they're going down. This is also, by the way, it feels like Rogue One. So they're going down, and we go together, you know. with Duke and Armstrong. Duke first, like, is the first to sacrifice himself, of course. He's like, we're drilling and we're
go
fighting.
ahead, I'll stay here.
Oh, there's so many.
No! Don't sacrifice yourself. Fuck.
And she's so affected by this. Like, I think the performances are actually really good.
Yeah.
Like, they're great performances.
No problems,
although,
no.
like I said, a bit generic. Straightforward character arcs and like personalities. Of course, Nora gets picked off as well. She stops another horde of the enemies. You're gonna go all Samus. And then suddenly, oh fuck, VU, the robot, comes back. And you go through a little segment with him and you fight big boys. More big boys than the other Lamorne boys, right? They turned into boys and that's why they become monsters.
The girls became boys.
Yeah, it's whatever. Anyway, so you go through there. He throws you like a ball. You go into morph ball mode and he throws you. Very fun. And then you're alone. Oh no. And you fight the fucking boss thing and everything and you get the key. And then it's like, oh, we are all fine.
Yeah, they all show up in the elevator that goes straight back up, and it's
They're
like
all fine.
It was a shame we had to go through this whole cave system because this elevator really just goes right straight down where
It's
we
really
need to be.
like, dude, this is fine. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
This is great.
Of course they survived.
Yeah, like I told you right before. So they're gonna sacrifice themselves, but at the end they're all gonna appear at the elevator and they're gonna be fine because, as we all know, what's gonna happen here is obviously that when we go to the tower at the end.
Yeah. You have to go to the tower with the master teleport keys to teleport your way back home.
Yes.
That's the whole thing. And all the areas has a master teleport key, so you go there to get it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
But we all know that that's where the real sacrifice will happen. That's why they can't die in the mines. They need to fucking die there.
At the tower.
Yeah, they need to make the big sacrifice at the tower. So that was a fake out. So maybe you'll be in like Kensuke Tanabe thinking like, oh, you will be put off guard. Like, oh, you think they have plot armor. Haha, fuck you. And of course, that's what happens. And what's really funny about this, because we haven't talked about Sylux, because
Yes, this is the point where we talk about Sylux, because I don't think you can talk about Sylux without going into spoilers. So for those who don't know, which I think is very sensible, Sylux is a guy who showed up in the DS exclusive Metroid game, Metroid Prime Hunters. It was a game that was kind of made to be an online shooting game. So to have other characters, they came up with a bunch of like fucking OCs that are Samus-esque, but not really. One of them was a guy called Sylux.
He's
in the
blue?
blue purplish, yeah. In the manual, it like says this guy hates Samus. That's
he
it.
hates Samus.
So in Metroid Prime 3, you have the whole regular game, and then if you get all the things and scan all the things, there's a super secret ending cutscene. This is tradition for Metroid Prime games, where they kind of have a stinger for the next game. They show Samus going away in space, and you see Sylux's spaceship track her. And I remember at the time someone talked about this. I didn't play the game, but I saw that thing and went, what do you mean Sylux?
Who the fuck is this?
The guy from Prime Hunter? What are you talking? Why would it be him? Who fucking cares? And then nothing happens for almost 10 years. And then in Federation Force, there's another secret cutscene where he comes back as a little chibi me guy.
Yeah, you see through his perspective.
Yeah,
and
where he grabs a Metroid.
He
and it's like,
steals it.
oh, what if Sylux is a Metroid? I don't fucking care. Who gives a shit?
What if Sylux
And then
is
Nintendo shows the trailer finally for Metroid Prime 4.
There he is.
And then they show, oh my god, guys, it's Sylux. It's like, what?
Everyone, please clap. Please pretend like you know who this guy is. I also read the wiki.
I have been thinking about this, and I have realized the reason it's Sylux is pretty simple.
He hates Samus.
No, it's not even that. I'm talking Doylean now, not Watsonian. Retro Studios. This goes back to fucking Metroid Prime 1, actually. Retro Studios did a thing.
Yeah.
Back then, there are 3 Metroid games. Metroid 1, 2, 3. They're just set all after each other. It's pretty straightforward. Retro Studios are tasked with making Metroid Prime, a new game in the series. At the same time, Nintendo EAD or is it or new one? Who cares? They're doing Metroid Fusion, which is probably Metroid 4. So the Metroid Prime guys are like, well, like where do you set this? Let's just put it like put it between Metroid 1 and 2. At that time, it's like there's not that much.
There's Metroid still.
Space
the
Pirates.
Space Pirates are there.
Yeah. So like,
Great
just do
time.
that. It's just a little side story. It doesn't really matter. Like, you go to the
And
town
then we
of
can make
world.
Super Metroid again.
Yeah, they just do that, not think too much about it. But then there's like, gonna make another Metroid Prime game, and another one, and another. So what happens is you have a long string between Metroid 1 and Metroid 2 of like, here are all the Prime games.
Here are things that
But then you kind of come to the point where you have to make Metroid Prime 4. We've been going for quite a while. How do you make fans hype? Can't bring Ridley back again. We're doing that too much, and we can have implications that he's kind of gonna go straight into Metroid 2, so we can't really meet him again. I guess he's gonna show up again. Who cares? Dread did Kraid. We had already done a sort of Mother Brain in like Metroid Prime 3. Like, there's not much to grab in Metroid 1 because that's the only one we can kind of take from it now. So it's like, what if it's one of the guys in Prime Hunters? That's the only thing you can do as like oh, look, it's a callback. I think that's it. I think that's what happened. They're like, this guy...
Most people didn't play Metroid Prime Hunters, and they didn't play Federation Force. They did maybe see his cutscene from Prime 3 on YouTube. But somehow, a lot of people have been like... coerced, I guess, into believing that this is super exciting.
I guess just them doing a thing out of it kind of entails you being excited about it. Like, I guess this is a big deal.
I guess it is exciting from a perspective of like, oh, they're tying stuff together. You know, it's good for the wiki. You know what I'm talking about?
Wiki-ass
because
game.
In my opinion, I've always felt like Sylux is a fucking nerd, dude.
Yeah.
His whole character is that he hates Samus. That's his fucking profile. He hates Samus, you don't know why. We'll know why, by the way. Yeah. And turns out, he's just a fucking nerd.
Okay, I just want to backtrack on that too. It's like, you can't just go, this guy hates the protagonist.
Yeah, no shit.
No shit, everyone hates Samus. Like, do you think Ridley likes Samus?
A little bit, maybe. He thinks she's kind of cool.
I wish I was her.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm just a big dinosaur. Fuck. But like, you know, I think a lot of people like seeing Sylux there is like what they're excited for is a payoff for something that they don't really know.
Yeah, it's sort of long ass string of cliffhangers for 20 fucking years now. It's gotta be a big payoff. No,
like there's no way that this could ever pay off, because Sylux is not...
They could try.
They could. But Kensuke Tanabe, I know I've said his name a lot, but like clearly he's way too in love with the Federation for this to ever be interesting. Because I told you before, Sylux could be like a previous Federation soldier, because that would tie into the whole Metroid Prime or Federation propaganda shit.
They're very American.
They're very American. They're just like, oh, these games are the Federation bullshit. Jerk off the Federation.
It's the Halo
They're
games.
really cool. So we're like, oh, Samus leaves the Federation because she thinks they're fucking shit and ineffective, and also they kind of fail at their missions.
Yeah.
But then for some reason in the Prime games, she's just like, no, you know what? These guys are awesome. I love these guys. They're the fucking best. I'm not just gonna like work with them, which I understand in like Metroid 1 and 2. Like, she's doing her job. And it's kind of personal too.
She's a bounty hunter now.
Yeah. But like in this, they're like, we're sending in Samus with her team. And you're like, what the fuck is... It sounds like Samus is working for the Federation, like we're talking like on the payroll, like she's never left. And it's strange, isn't it? So I said, of course, one thing they can do with Sylux is have him be a Federation soldier previously. He has defected from the Federation. And of course, what's interesting then is, why did he defect? Could it be? Could we? And I knew this wouldn't happen because these games are kind of cowardly. Could it maybe be, like, I'm not saying that he needs to be like a sympathetic villain necessarily. Although they kind of try to do it anyway for some reason.
I don't feel like they try that.
Yeah, but in a weird way, where it's like everyone dies. But it's more like if there was some corruption, maybe?
The way you have to do a villain like this is you have to make it so that he has a bit of a point.
Yes, I think so.
That is always kind of the thing with a villain.
Just be an asshole.
Can't be mustache twirling, haha, Samus. Because, okay, so Metroid Prime 4 starts with Sylux has got in his hand on the Metroids. Remember from Galactic Federation?
And he's attacking this base,
Federation Force, I mean. So he's attacking a base. He has pet Metroids. It's like, it's made up to be a big deal. They can, like, take over space pirates. It's like manipulating space pirates. don't pay too much attention to this because it's not gonna come back. It's one boss in the beginning of the game, and then it's fucking never mentioned again.
Although
this
there
imply
are
that he has infected the other bosses in the games.
You shoot like the fire guy in
because they have like little Metroid nipples that you like,
that you shoot. That's their big
but,
fuck
like,
you lights.
What's interesting about this game is that there are virtually no Metroids in it, which I think actually is fine. It's good. Fucking stop.
Although it's strange that he stole them and then...
Yeah, I was thinking like, of course it's gonna be like Metroids at the tower in the end because he has maybe been breeding them with the technology there. No. Okay, so basically, big fucking weird teleporter thing goes off and everyone's teleported into just the game. And you're thinking, oh, now they're stuck here with Sylux.
Oh, scary.
Conflict. Maybe this guy is a fucking asshole. He doesn't know.
No.
Like at 2 points in the game, Sylux shows up. And 3 times even. Like, haha, I'm gonna fucking fight you now. But he doesn't say anything. He's just as silent as Samus.
Yeah.
And then you fight him, and it's like, no, it was a robot.
It was a robot. You know what I'm really surprised by, though? So all of these encounters are robots. But then he's like, you see, for example, there's a little cutscene where a Sylux presses a button in the fireplace.
Yes.
And then he's in a flying machine.
Yeah, I was counting that one too.
Yeah, but like, I'm just saying then, those were also robots.
I guess.
Yeah, because he's in a pod in the
yeah,
fucking...
so
whatever.
we'll get there.
He's not in the game.
Remember now, I need to be sold on this guy.
Yes.
And he has no screen time. Anytime you're like, oh, this guy... No, he's a robot. Like, he's not even in the fucking game.
Okay, so what's so strange is like the main villain of this game, he is not present. He's not connected to the story.
No.
At all.
No.
He's just kind of the reason why we get here.
I guess. So... let's just get to the ending.
Yes.
You go with all the guys. You have to go through a tower. You kind of think, is this going to be like an onslaught? You have to build your you have to build your big mech to use. And I'm thinking it's going to be an action set piece where all these guys are like shooting. Because in the beginning of the game, you're in the tower. You see a robot factory, all these battle robots. I'm thinking, we're going to fight these guys in the end.
Nope.
You never do it. It's really weird. They play it up as something's going to happen. Nothing happens. You just go through a straight line to use a boss. And...
so you see 3 pods.
There are pods, yeah, like healing pods. And in one of them...
2 of them are open, but one of them...
is in use. Sylux is in it. So it's like implied that, oh, he's been healing up the whole game. He's just been chilling in the fucking jacuzzi the entire game. And it's like, this is the guy? And he finally talks for the first time. And he says,
I've been waiting for you, Samus. Have you, though?
I mean, technically, yeah. I've been...
Yeah, but how did you know?
He's just like, I just woke up. It's fucking too long boss fight. It's just a Metroid Prime final boss with too many faces, and he has all the attacks and everything.
You got spit out into like another dimension.
You go into Doctor Who hyperspace, and fight him like on the rings of Saturn or something. He's like, what the fuck's going on? What the fuck is this? And then you teleport back, and like it's like a rift in dimensions or something. Like what? Whatever, it's fine. Have your cool set piece.
You high five, Myles.
Yeah, so you go back. Samus wins. Everything's fine. We're gonna start up the teleporter and go back home.
Pats Nora on the back.
Yeah,
because she hugs her.
It's like we're gonna go back and we're gonna book a hotel room together. Nora.
Steamy ass sex. And then they're like, "Is Sylux?" And she nods.
Sylux is very dead, I presume, Samus.
Samus nods. And then they go to the teleporter and she pulls out the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
This plan goes.
Sylux chuckled. You mean the master teleporter keys?
And of course he uses them, but suddenly, out from a little rift thing.
Just like the rift in reality itself, Sylux's hand comes and it's like, fuck you, Samus!
I fucking hate you, Samus. So he shoots her and the teleporter stops.
Yeah.
All the fucking Federation guys, your pals, Armstrong, Duke, Tokabi, and Mackenzie, they're all trying to hold him back.
Don't forget about View 995.
Oh, fuck that guy. He's not a person.
The robot.
Anyway, so she fucking pulls fucking Nora in the throat. She's like fucking holding her up and she's like, I'm dying. And he shoots fucking Mackenzie in the back.
They're all going like the kids in It against It.
And Mackenzie says, go. And Samus goes.
Samus is like, I'm gonna take the teleporter. Fuck you guys.
And Samus leaves. And
this is so out of character for her because I feel like she would be like, this is unfinished business.
My big question is
she just leaves these guys with Sylux. They kind of just holding all his limbs and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up, Samus.
My question is, there is no like time limit on this. Because clearly the keys like kind of just like, woo, and it's only reacting to Samus. Yeah. So like Sylux can't open the fucking teleporter.
I don't.
No, but it only reacts to Samus. So why
did you mention that Myles gets shot?
Yes, I said that. He's like, oh, I get shot in the back, and he's like, go, and like, no, Mackenzie, you stupid bitch. But Samus is like, yes, click,
bye.
And I'm like, no, jump out. If there is one person who could probably finish
the
off...
way I feel Samus has been written is throughout the entire series.
But also, we're supposed to believe, of course, that she cares about them, but also that this sacrifice is, like, meaningful in some way.
Why?
Like, okay, I understand that this is just contrived. We're supposed to feel something, and
I'm not gonna nitpick on the details. I understand the broader point being they all sacrifice themselves for Samus, and that like sometimes it's silly the way it's done. I assume that Samus is gone. We will never go back home again. Let's just fucking kill Sylux with some fucking rocks in the corner and just build a new civilization. Nora, you're gonna have to pop out a lot of fucking babies, but it's gonna be fine in the end.
I'm just a bit confused, because it's like, why couldn't Samus go out, I guess, and fight him again? Why do they have to do it?
It's just kind of weird.
It feels like she's maybe the most competent to do it, like the most qualified to maybe finish off Sylux.
But I also feel like this goes twofold. I see the point kind of being that like maybe the biggest defeat for Sylux like
is that he doesn't get to fight
is that it neither gets to kill Samus or be killed by Samus. It is just interrupted forever. He can never win release.
Basically, either way.
Exactly. I think that's fine. It's a fine way to do it.
Yes.
Not really hammered home very much. It's just kind of something you kind of have to come up with yourself. But that's fine. That's how we have
it's perfectly fine in that sense, because then you leave.
I just feel like Samus is kind of written very strangely in this way, where I feel like maybe you could contrive a different scenario. Maybe Sylux does kill all your friends, and it's just like they're all dead. And she kills Sylux, and it's leaves or something.
Yes, so I think Samus would
maybe Sylux being alone in this world would be the biggest punishment. I don't know.
No, something like that. But that's basically what's happening anyway. But that's a fine punishment for Sylux. But I just think that Sylux hasn't been developed enough through this game, and we barely know his motivation, which we do get a little glimpse of. But like, I don't think it's enough, because we've been playing for like 10 hours, 15 hours maybe at this point, and we haven't seen anything from him. Like, he hasn't been in the game.
He has to justify himself.
No, exactly. And then it's like, if I bought more that he's like a big asshole who we strand on this planet, that would be great.
Hate him.
Yeah, make me
dislike this guy. Give me something to work with there, because
and it's like, he's just a bit boring now.
And then the game ends.
Yes, and then I think... So basically, you get like a little cutscene of what happened to Sylux, basically, why he hates her. So it's basically just jealousy.
Flashback. Sylux was a Federation soldier,
yes. I was correct.
And he's in a big battle, in a big field, as they always do in movies nowadays. There's very bad tactics in this war.
They go straight forward.
Space pirates and the Federation forces
just run towards
each other
there
in the field.
There are no covers.
World War I, no lessons learned. So he talks to his superior and says, I'm gonna take down the space pirate weapons. And they're like, no, wait for Samus.
He's not following the commander's orders. So he basically like pushes forward, even if they are telling them to pull back. And he's like, because he hears that Samus is there, and he's so fucking jealous. Like, he's like, no, this is my glory. So he's like, no, we're moving on as planned.
And then they move blown the fuck out.
Yeah, all of them get blown up except for Sylux. And then Samus appears from the fucking rubble. Like, basically, she's in the smoke. And she appears like a fucking super villain or something. It looks like she's like appearing from the darkness, and he's like on his knees, and she reaches out her hand to him as to help him, and he hits her hand away. Fuck you, Samus, you fucking bitch, this was my fucking thing. He's just a nerd.
I think that scene is so funny too, because if you look at it again, I'm gonna have it on screen, look at this shit, it looks like Samus does a down low, too slow. She's just an asshole.
I think maybe Sylux just being an asshole is not enough. What I found really interesting though is like when Samus gets back, I think it's either implied that this is the same place where the base is, but more maybe that this is where the battlefield was.
Who knows?
No, but
Who cares?
wait, and then
Is this important?
Wait, and then she plants
Thematically, I mean?
and then she okay. So we forgot to mention this, but the Lamorne basically wants Samus to like save their history and their memories by picking up their memory tree fruit basically and plant it on another planet. And so when she appears here, I think it's implied that this is the battlefield, and she plants the tree there as kind of a for those we've lost, the meaningless strife of war. Because as you see in the cutscene at the end also, the guys who sacrificed themselves for Samus, it's all in vain, it's unnecessary, and she plants the tree, and it shows that, you know, fuck, it's...
Now I'm gonna go and kill all the Metroids.
Let's eradicate them. So maybe that's what it's going for, and like it's a nice cutscene, especially if you get the like thing, you know, where Tokabi, if you've talked to him throughout the game, he has the little campsites throughout the open world, which I think is one of my favorite things about the open world. Probably should have used that more for the other characters.
Tokabi is one of the most fleshed out characters because it actually kind of tells you about his background.
Yeah, his culture, and he basically prays to the sun, sort of like Solar, a sun god. Yeah, Solon.
Clearly, soul.
Yeah, and he has this little trinket from his dad, and he throws it to Samus right at the end, and she picks it like, and before she teleports, and then when the tree starts growing, because it's a magical tree, you see, she puts that thing, the little trinket on there, like it's a Christmas tree. No, but it's nice from that perspective. Like, you see finally Samus' face too, where she can show some emotion, which I think is the biggest problem with her not talking and not showing her face, because we never know what she's thinking.
I never think of Samus as like a real person.
No, I don't.
I always see her as like a robot, because she doesn't.
At least, especially in Metroid Prime games, I think. I heard some people like saying this is the worst ending ever in Metroid, and I'm like,
I'm not too sure what they're on about. I think Sylux is a big letdown, if anything.
For sure.
But I was expecting him to be a letdown. I was like so fucking ready for that.
He was always gonna be a fucking nerd. Like, this is never gonna pay off.
For what they're doing and the whole like we're sacrificing these guys and everything, you can see it coming from a mile away, and I think the execution is fine. It's a little bit silly as always, but I get the point. I think it comes through. I think it's thematically coherent and sound. I think it's fine. You know, I think ultimately this is kind of harmless. This is not that bad. I think the biggest letdown here is if you're just like really ready for Metroid Prime 4 to be like the best fucking game you played in your life.
Then you're you're in for something. But you know what I mean, the whole thing where you're saving the Lamorne's history and memory, and then of course when you get back there, you're also saving the memory of your Federation pals, because that's always gonna be with Samus, you know. That's how.
Nope, she put it in a Christmas tree.
No, but that's
now she doesn't remember it anymore.
No, but that's symbolic for the tree itself. You know?
I understand. It's just very funny because he kind of is.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, there is
dumps it all.
Like, there is something here.
There is something there.
But I think maybe it could have been done better. Especially if, like, we build up Sylux more, we let Samus speak a little bit.
Build a bit of a bond with these characters, so you actually feel something when Myles dies in the end.
Have more opportunities to talk to these people in the open world, maybe. One thing that I think is really stupid about having the base be in Fury Green. Like, you have to go there through the open world, and you have to go back there. You have to basically go to a completely different map to, like, talk to them. Why is that thing not in the open world itself? Like, why doesn't Mackenzie set up a camp in the open world so that, it's a transition point? You know, what is in the open world? Well, first of all, Mackenzie, of course, and the other guys. Like, wouldn't that make more sense? Like, you know, from the perspective of you not having to go back to Fury Green all the time, and then maybe Fury Green could be more
guys just hanging out, having little side quests where I don't know. I'm not gonna make up a completely different game here.
No,
it's just like.
But I'm just saying, like, moving him to the open world. I think first of all it would save some time for you, but it also would take away a lot of the unnecessary transitions that you have to go through to get there. Like, to get to Mackenzie now, you have to go in through a door, watch a cutscene where it loads, and then you need to go and take the fucking cannon that takes, like, a little bit to load, and then you have to go to him. Like, it's just one of those things, like, if you have to go for this, why not put him in the transitional area? why is there not a hub? And maybe as you continue the game, maybe the hub gets a little bit bigger. Maybe like, oh, they've collected more scrap from the other like Federation debris. And like it gets bigger with time. Maybe they could find more soldiers out there that are more generic, you know. They're building up a base or something, and it's like, why not?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that's a small change that wouldn't like fundamentally.
I think that's kind of it. I have a few more points, just a little bit of thoughts. Number one, this is with every Metro game, especially the Prime ones. Why are the suits always so fucking ugly? Every time you get a new suit in a Metro Prime, especially a Metro Prime game, I always feel like, oh no, what's this gonna be? They're always so ugly. That's the only thing I have to say. They're ugly.
I think the Viola suit like grew on me with time
because you never really change it. No,
but then you get like to the end and you get like the ugliest suit I've ever fucking seen. Yeah, the hockey suit. Why are they always hockey suits?
I don't know why they're always hockey suits. It's annoying. I think they're so ugly because like I think the original design for Samus, and I'm talking original without even the shoulder bumps.
Yeah.
That's the classic clean one. I love it. I like when it comes back in Metroid Prime 1. I like that. That's the best one. The one on like the cover for Metroid 1. The very 80s one. That's a cool one. I like that one. They never really were able to recapture it. I think the classic Metroid suit though with the bumps, that's good. It's fine. It's good. I like that. I like when Metro games are kind of more like that.
You know, it's
anytime
fine.
you try to iterate on it and do something weird with it, it's just kind of, I don't know.
You know, it's fine when it evolves, I think, between like Fusion and Dread, maybe.
The Fusion suit is kind of nice.
The Fusion suit is more like thematically important.
Yes.
Like it's meant to be sleek and
I wouldn't want that
stuff.
one to keep reappearing in other games.
No, but like when you then see like how it evolves in Dread, I think that's pretty cool. That's a cool design. It's a new suit, and I like the blue on it. You know when you just get the other suit, and it's like black and silver or something?
I don't know.
And just looks really strange. Whatever. This game is great. Imagine I said nothing mean about it.
I have one more thought.
Yeah?
This is one thing that been a little bit of a discourse thing now, that there is a different perspective on the whole thing of being a bounty hunter between like Japan and the rest of the world, where they, I guess, watched too much like Star Wars and didn't really understand what Boba Fett was doing or something, so they thought being a bounty hunter was just a cool thing, not that it would entail something in like a Western trope sense. And it's really funny because this has explained so much of like why Samus keeps not being a bounty hunter and doing weird shit. He just keeps being with the feds and everything.
Yeah.
There is the scene in this game where she talks to Tokabi and he explains that, you know, me being a hunter and doing sniping and everything and taking on jobs like that, I was kind of being a sort of a bounty hunter. You're a bounty hunter too, but not in the same way. Like it's like they had to put it in the text that's like, no, she is not that kind of bounty hunter. Stop asking us about it.
She is a bounty hunter from the perspective of like, she took a mission.
Yeah?
To do a thing. Like, she's a bounty hunter in the sense her bounty is killing all the Metroids. And then in Samus, it's like, your mission, your bounty is Mother Brain. And then in Fusion, it's like,
I would have to guess that when they made the first Metro games, I
He's
think
a
those
space
guys.
hunter,
I
by
think
the way.
those guys knew what a fucking bounty hunter is. And then the ones after came like, what is that? Like Buzz Lightyear?
It is like Buzz Lightyear.
This is a Buzz Lightyear game.
Yeah.
Metroid is very Buzz Lightyear. It's very bionicle. It is very like Hello, I'm 12. Cool robots that look like insects. It's,
like I wouldn't.
Metroid Prime would be a toy lineup on TV. They're going like, wow, new Metroid Prime fucking characters. It's Sylux. I'm gonna get you, Samus. Oh, get all the things. Get the kit. Batteries all separate.
I was thinking about the thing we said that they should do that would be really funny, where Samus does something, you know, and Sylux like points at her and he's like, "Is that a way to treat your brother?" That would be such a fucking funny moment.
That would be like having real drama.
No, but I would love that.
Metroid doesn't do that.
No, but that's also generic as hell. I just love the idea of her secret brother in Metroid Prime 4.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would like Metroid has already jumped the shark so fucking hard and done a flip. So at this point, it's like, hey, get the bike, get the fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula suit, get fucking Sylux to come back and be like, remember me? Like this is if Zelda was doing like, fuck you, Link, it's Linebeck.
I think it would be more like, you know, Sant from Twilight Princess, him appearing maybe. He's coming and it's like,
it comes
Link.
back, it's like, finally Sant is back, remember him?
It's 18 years later and he's like, oh, Samus, I'm back.
Why is Samus in the Metro games? You know what? No, he would be in the Metro games. You'd be like, what the fuck? And people going like, oh my god,
they're connected.
This is so cool. They're all connected. What the fuck?
Oh, this is great for the wiki.
The implications are so vast.
Samus
and Sylux buddy cop thing. What if that's the thing? If like begrudgingly he realizes he has to work with Samus and like just the concept of this fucking thing itself. You have the setup. They were on a fucking desert island. What are Samus gonna do? What are Samus? Sylux enemy. Oh fuck! They're all in the fucking sticky situation together. But Samus has friends, and friends are a little bit awkward around Sylux because they remember when he did the poopy baddie. And Samus goes, "Don't worry about." Like I don't know. There's so many fucking things to do. Samus is on a desert island with Sylux. What if Sylux becomes her best friend? And Sylux does the sacrifice. Maybe that's interesting. I don't fucking know. Fucking do writings room now. I don't know. But I'm just thinking loudly. What are Samus's desert island discs? If she's gonna be on a desert island, I think she likes Pink Floyd.
I like the part where Sylux over everyone.
We're done.
No, but wait. I was gonna read my Blue Sky post.
Sure.
As a final goodbye here. Despite all the vaginal imagery, it seems like the developers at Retro Studios couldn't quite find a clitoris. They didn't manage to hit the G-spot. There was no orgasm. An unsatisfying experience.
Did you notice that the doors in the mine were all buttholes?